Hi there, welcome. I get to share some yoga with you, so this is so cool. So we're going to start on our back. We're going to take 7 nice, slow belly breaths. So a belly breath is going to be a nice inhale through the nose, a nice exhale through the mouth. So we're going to take 7 breaths to center ourselves, and then we're going to get started with some movement. So let's go down on our back. I think let's start with the knees bent because that's just good for the low back, helping it to decompress. So start with the knees bent, arms at your side, palms up. Tuck the chin just slightly, get a little length in the back of the neck. Roll the shoulders down and under, and we're going to take our 7 nice, slow belly breaths. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let the eyes softly close. Inhale. Exhale. Let the jaw relax. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let the belly be nice and full. Inhale. Exhale, let that belly fall completely. Last breath, nice inhale. Exhale. Beautiful, good breaths. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Let's just rock the hips a little side to side. So we're just gonna feel that in the hips, in the low back, in the legs. So, our hips can hold a lot of tension, can hold a lot of fear, can hold a lot of stress. So just gently letting those knees rock a little side to side. Feel that on the low back. Bring the knees to center. Inhale, with your exhale, we'll bring the right knee into the chest. We'll hug the right knee. Relax the shoulders. Take a breath or two and just feel how the body's responding to this right knee pulled in to the belly. Now stretch the right foot up to the ceiling. Let's circle the right ankle. Let your toes wiggle a bit. So we're warming up this foot, this ankle, this right leg. Let's take those circles in the opposite direction. Good. Let's point and flex the right foot so we get a nice stretch in the calf, in the shin, in the arch. Keep the right foot flexed. Inhale. With your exhale, bring the right knee into the chest. We're going to hug the knee. Inhale again. With your exhale, lift your head up towards the right knee. Shoulders down, neck long. So you can bring one hand behind the neck if you want a little support for the neck. And then the left knee can stay bent with the foot on the floor. If it feels okay, left leg stretches out on the mat. So if you stretch that left leg out, we want to engage the abdominals. So the belly button is going to pull down towards the spine and waistline presses down towards the floor. So we don't want our back to arch up from the mat. Nice slow breaths into the low belly. Inhale, lower the head. Let's bring that right foot to the mat. We'll bend both knees, both feet on the floor. We'll rock the hips side to side a couple times again. It just helps to settle everything in between poses. We'll bring the knees to center. Inhale, with the exhale, left knee comes into the chest. Retuck the chin a little, relax the shoulders. A couple breaths, just feel how the body responds now with this left knee hugged in. And then we're going to stretch left foot up to the ceiling and we'll circle the left ankle in one direction. Let your toes move around. Nice and slow. Warming up the ankle joint and the leg and the foot. Let's go in the opposite direction. And let's point and flex the left foot. So you can feel that all the way down the leg. Let's keep the left foot flexed. Inhale. With your exhale, bring the left knee into the chest. Inhale again. And as you exhale, lift your head up towards the knee. Shoulders down, neck long. You can always support the neck. And then either right knee stays bent with right foot on the floor or stretch the right leg out. So engage the abdominals, belly button pulls down towards the spine, shoulders relax down, waistline presses down towards the floor. Big slow breaths into the low belly. You're going to inhale, lower the head, bring the left foot to the mat. Both knees bend, both feet on the floor. We'll rock the hips side to side. Let's bring the knees to center. Inhale. With your exhale, both knees come into the chest. Hug the knees. Pause here for a moment. Just let the low back soften. Let it stretch out a little bit. Tuck the chin a little bit. Let the shoulders relax. And then we'll roll side to side. So as far over, as little over, as fast or as slow. So we're just bringing some blood, some circulation, some energy to the back body. Good. Let's bring the knees to center. Stretch both feet up to the ceiling. Feet hip width apart, feet flexed. Hold here for a moment and just let the legs get a nice stretch, nice length in the legs. Belly button still pulling down, so we're still got a nice integrity in the belly and the spine. And now we'll go into a yoga walk. One knee bends, opposite foot stretches up to the ceiling. So take this nice and slow, as if it's almost slow motion, and give yourself a little bit of imaginary resistance, as if you're trying to push something away with the bottom of each foot. Good. So this is helping to strengthen the front of the legs, the quadricep, those thigh muscles, and it's helping to stretch out the backs of the legs, the hamstrings and the calves. Good. Let's bring both knees back into the chest. Hug the knees. Feet are flexed. Inhale. With your exhale, lift your head up towards the knees. Shoulders down, neck long. You can bring one hand behind the neck. You can always support the neck. Big breaths into the low belly. So we're trying to compress the belly with the thighs and take big breaths at the same time. So the internal organs, this is so good. This little squeeze, release with each breath cycle, really good for the internal organs. Inhale, lower the head. Use your abdominals. Don't let the back arch. We're going to bring the feet down to the mat. They can come down one at a time if you need. Once the feet are all the way down on the floor, let's go into reclined cobbler's pose. We're going to bring the bottoms of the feet together, knees fall open. So you can adjust this. There'll be a little natural curve to the low back. If that feels good, just let it be there. Arms at your side, a little bit away from the body. We want to open up the armpit, open up the groin, so that's good for the immune system. The major lymph nodes in those areas, this lets the lymph fluid flow through there freely. You can even be in cactus arms. But we want to relax the body as much as possible and take those nice big belly breaths. So the breath is what helps to move the lymph fluid. So we inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. If the legs can't relax, you can take a couple of blocks or cushions from your couch and put underneath the thighs to help the legs feel a little supported. Bring the arms down by your side and then nice and slow, bring the knees together. Hug the knees back into the chest and roll side to side a couple times. Bring the knees to center. Use your abdominals. Don't let the back arch. We're going to bring feet down to the mat. We're going to go into bridge pose. So we're going to have the feet about hip width apart. We'll walk the feet back towards the hips a little bit. Arms at your side, palms up. We're going to lift our hips with breath. So inhale first. Exhale, press your waist down into the floor. Inhale, lead with the tailbone and lift up nice and slow, one vertebra at a time. Tuck the shoulders under just a little bit. We're going to press the backs of the arms into the mat, tops of the shoulders into the mat. Belly soft, bottom slightly firm. Knees are parallel to each other. The weight's even on both feet. So left foot, right foot, front of the foot, back of the foot. Let's take a few little pulses here. Let's lower the hips a little and then lift the hips. Lower the hips a little, lift the hips. Keep the belly soft, so we don't want to over effort in the belly. Next time the hips are up, leave them up. One nice big inhale, and with the exhale, we're going to lengthen and lower down. So let the shoulders roll out, and we're going to lower down one vertebra at a time, nice and slow. Once the hips are down, hug the knees into the chest. We're going to roll side to side a couple times. Bring the knees to center. Use your abdominals. We're going to bring feet down to the mat. One at a time, stretch the legs out. Let the front of the hips open, back of the knees open, arms at your side, palms up. Just a couple breaths here. Nothing to do. Just let everything stretch out and relax. And then we're going to rebend the knees. Feet on the floor. Roll over onto your side, either side. Come up into hands and knees table pose. Good. So we're going to have our wrists under our shoulders, knees under the hips. Fingers spread nice and wide. Index fingers are parallel to each other. The other fingers are going to spread out from there. So this is the base of the pose. We don't want the hands forward from the shoulders because it's hard on the shoulder joint. We're going to go into our cat breath. So let's exhale, round the spine up. Tuck the chin, pull your belly button up. Inhale, tilt the hips, arch the back. So do this with your breath. Exhale when you round your spine. And inhale when you arch. When you arch, slide the heart forward and slide the shoulders back so we get some movement, some stretch in that upper back. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Now bring a little free-form movement. You can sway the hips side to side. You can rock forward and back. You can bend the elbows. So any kind of little movement that might feel good to the body. Then on your next exhale, we're going to sit back into child's pose. Big toes barely touching. Let the knees separate apart a little bit. And then bring the forehead down to rest on folded arms, on a mat, on a block. And we're just going to let that low back kind of stretch out, soften, lengthen as we take a few breaths here. So this is a form of a forward fold, and forward folds are very calming for our nervous system. So just kind of shut out the outside world. And just go inside, listen to the breath. Eyes close. Stretch out the breath. Long inhale, long exhale. For child's pose, we're going to go into downward dog. Stretch the hands as far forward as they'll go. So your bottom is still as close to the heels as it can be, but the hands are going to be as far forward as they be so that the elbows are up off the mat. Come up into your hands and knees. You can move the knees a little closer together. Take a look at the hands, fingers spread nice and wide, index fingers parallel. We're going to curl the toes under. Inhale, with your exhale, lift up and then shift the weight of the body back. So spread the toes out on the mat, spread the fingers out on the mat. We'll take a little yoga walk. One knee bends, opposite heel lowers down. So we're just walking it out a little, getting a nice stretch in the calves, in the hamstrings. Tuck the chin a little bit. So we don't want to be looking forward towards the hands. We want a nice long neck. So we're top of the head kind of pointing towards the floor. We're looking at our feet. Belly button pulls in and up so we get some nice support to the spine. And then we're going to come down to knees. Shift back into child's pose. Take a few wrist circles or wiggle the fingers and then let the forehead rest for a couple of breaths. We're going to come back up into hands and knees table pose. Good. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to go into a modified side plank. So we're going to have the wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Keep the left hand down and the left knee down. And we're going to stretch the right leg back behind you. The arch side of the right foot is going to go behind the left foot. Make sure your left wrist is under your left shoulder. And when you're ready, we're going to turn to the right. The right hand can be on your hip or the right hand can come straight up. So we want the left rib cage to lift up away from the floor. We're pushing that floor away from us. Belly button pulls in and up. Hold here. Take a couple breaths. Good. On your next exhale, bring the right hand down to the mat. Right knee down to the mat. Good. Now keep the right hand down and the right knee down, and we're going to stretch the left leg back behind. The arch side of the left foot will be behind the right foot. Make sure your right shoulder is under your right, make sure your right wrist is under your right shoulder, and we're gonna lift that left hand up. So left hand can also be on the hip. This right rib cage is pulling up away from the floor. Belly button pulls into the spine. Hold and breathe. Strength, balance, breath. On your next exhale, bring the left hand down, left knee down. So now we're back in table pose. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Take a couple cat breaths. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Just keeping the spine nice and loose and flexible. Working the core. Working the shoulders, working the hips. Good. Coming to neutral. We're going to come into squat pose. Curl the toes under behind you. Start to walk the hands back, lifting the knees until you're balancing on toes and fingertips. So you can keep your fingertips down here for a little balance. A couple breaths here. So we get a little compression of the belly. Good for those abdominal organs. Again, we're going to go into a standing forward fold. So let's lift the hips up. Heels come down. Widen your feet a little wider than the hips. Bring hands to up above the knees. Lift the chest into a halfway lift. Squeeze shoulder blades together. So with this little bend in the knees, my bottom is sticking back behind me, but my heart, my crown of the head reaching forward. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Bring hands up to hips. With strong legs and the belly pulled in and a long spine, we're going to hinge up all the way up to standing. Good. Adjust your clothing. Shake it out. We're going to take a few sun breaths. So the feet are going to be hip width apart on the mat, toes pointing straight ahead, heels pointing straight ahead, knees pointing straight ahead. So take a look. We don't want the toes out like that. We want them straight ahead. That's going to align everything from the foundation up. So we'll take a couple sun breaths, arms at your side. We're going to inhale, hands up, and exhale, hands down. So the thighs engage, belly pulls in and up. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, hands come down. Good. Let's take one more. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Let's take a few shoulder rolls. Bring the shoulders up and back and down. Up and back and down. As far up as they'll go, as far back as they'll go, as far down as they'll go. Good. Let's alternate one back and the other back. Good. Then shake out the arms. I'm going to work the shoulders a bit. So bring the arms up into cactus arms. We try to have the elbows in line with the shoulders. So gravity's going to want to take them down. Try to keep those elbows in line with the shoulders. We still have those thighs engaged. Belly pulls in and up. Good. We're going to inhale and pull the elbows back as far as they'll go, and then exhale, we're going to bring the hands forward. Maybe the palms touch, maybe they don't, so just some motion here. Inhale, open as wide as you can, opening the heart, opening the chest. Exhale, we're going to close, palms together. Maybe even the elbows touch. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Next time the elbows are open, keep them open. Keep this kind of 90-degree angle of the arms. And we're going to inhale, bring the hands up, kind of so the fingers are going to touch. And then exhale, keep that bend of the arms. We're going to bring elbows back and down towards the hips. So inhale, coming up. Exhale, we're going to come down. Keep those legs strong, belly strong. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good. Let's do one more of those. Inhale up. Exhale, we come back and down. So squeezing back and down. And then bring the arms all the way down by your side and just kind of shake it out a little bit. Let's go into a warrior two pose. We'll take a wide leg stance on the mat. Feet are going to be 3 to 3.5 feet apart. Right toes are going to turn to the right. Left heel shifts back. Line up. Right heel, draw a line, should intersect left arch, and the hips are level. Let's bend our right knee over the heel. Open your right knee out towards the right pinky toe. Inhale, arms to shoulder level. Exhale, relax shoulders, belly pulls in and up. Turn and look over at the right fingertips. Spread the fingers. Your middle finger is your gaze point.
Keep those shoulders relaxing down, so we don't want them up crowding the ears. Nice and long neck, belly pulls in and up. We're going to go from warrior two, we're going to go into extended side stretch. Bend your left elbow, bring your left hand to your left wrist. Now bend the right elbow, inhale. As you exhale, lean over the right thigh. Bring your right wrist or forearm to the right knee or thigh. So get good and grounded down through the feet. You might have to adjust that back foot. Top shoulder, left shoulder is going to roll back. Your heart turns up towards the ceiling. The left hand can stay on the left hip, or we can reach the left arm up and over by the left ear. Long line of energy from the left fingertips all the way down that left side, down through the left heel. So a lot of the weight is going to the right now. Put some energy, put some integrity, put some strength in that left leg, left foot. That left leg is like an anchor, like a tie pulling you down. The back of the left thigh, back of the left calf, the crease of the left knee pushes back behind you. Bring the left hand to the left hip. Nice and strong legs. Inhale, come up, straighten the right knee. Drop the arms, parallel the feet. We're going to go the other way. So left toes to the left. Right heel shifts back. We're going to line up that left heel with the right arch. Hips are level, we'll bend the left knee. Left knee over the left heel. Open the left knee out towards the left pinky toe. Shoulders stacked right over hips. We're going to inhale, arms to shoulder level. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Belly pulls in and up. Turn and look over left fingertips. Middle finger is the gaze. Shoulders relax down. Press on the outside edge of the right foot. Lift that right arch. So nice strength and solid feel in that back foot. Now into extended side stretch. Bring the right hand to the right hip. Bend your left elbow. Inhale with your exhale. Lean over that left thigh. Your left wrist or forearm comes to the left knee or thigh. Right shoulder, top shoulder is going to roll back. So we kind of rotate the heart, the chest up towards the ceiling. Get good and grounded, stable through that back foot. Right hand can stay on the right hip, or right arm can stretch up and over. So if you stretch that right arm up and over, the right palm faces the floor. Not a lot of weight on this left leg, so we're using our core muscles to keep our strength here. Good, that right thigh, right calf pushes back behind you. That's your anchor leg back there. Let's bring right hand to right hip. Inhale, we're going to come up, straighten the left leg, drop the arms, parallel the feet. We're going to step the feet together. We'll take a nice sun breath. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, hands come down. Let's bring palm together, thumbs at the heart. A couple breaths here. So just notice any sensations in the back, in the shoulders, in the hips, in the legs. Notice any fluctuations in the breath. Good. We'll drop the hands. Good. We're going to come down to the mat. Come down onto your back. We're going to go into a spinal twist. So let's come all the way down onto the back. Let's hug the knees into the chest. Good. Roll side to side a couple times. So just rolling out the back body. Bring the knees to center. We're going to keep the knees hugged into the chest. Arms at your side, a little bit away from the body. Let's flex the feet. So I like that because it kind of stretches the calves a little, stretches the arches a little. Inhale. As you exhale, we're going to drop the knees over to the right. You want the left shoulder down on the mat. So if you want to work your abdominals a little bit more, you can leave those knees up off the floor. They don't touch the floor. If you want to kind of relax into the twist, put a block or a cushion or a pillow under the right, outside of the right leg. Big breaths. Both palms are up. The whole chest, the whole front of the body open. Collarbones spread nice and wide. Armpits open. Big breaths into the low belly. So just notice where you might feel this twist. I love twists because they help balance the body, balance the energy. They help with digestion, elimination. And the magic is in the breath. As with all yoga poses, it's like those big breaths. So it doesn't matter really what your arms are doing, what your legs are doing. It's that twist of the abdomen and the big belly breaths. So let's inhale both knees up to center.
And then exhale, both knees go over to the left. Right shoulder stays down on the mat. So you can, if you want ab work, the knees don't go all the way down. You kind of hold. If you want to relax into the twist, a block under the left, outside of the left leg, or a cushion. Big breaths into the belly, heart open, upper body relaxes. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly relaxes. Just notice where you feel the twist on this side. So we do, in a twist, we do one side and then the other. So it gives us a good indication of where we might have a little imbalance in the body. And then the head stays centered, or it can look over either shoulder. I usually keep my head centered, but whatever feels good to your neck. But let's inhale, both knees come to center. Let's hug those knees again. Pull the knees in. We'll rock a little side to side. Knees come to center. Use your abdominals. Bring the feet down to the mat. Good. So just the clothing, we're going to go into a little final relaxation. One at a time, we'll stretch the legs out. Arms at your side, palms up. So you can have, for our final relaxation, you can have the legs stretched out. You can have a blanket roll under the knees. You can have your knees bent, whatever feels good to the upper body, lower body. So kind of tune in, ask yourself, what feels good? What should I do? Really tune into that inner guidance. Back of the neck is long, shoulders relax, and we turn on those belly breaths. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Just letting everything relax, letting everything be still. So resist that urge to move. This is a time to just practice stillness, to observe the body. So maybe you have an itch on your nose, just observe it, let it pass. Don't address it, just watch it. If there's any place in the body you want to move, just wait for a moment, pause, see, do I really need to move, or can I just relax there and adjust it? And of course, if you can't relax it and you need to get a little more comfortable, then make a few little adjustments. But this is a time just to breathe, take on stillness, observe the body, observe the breath. So this yoga is so good for the body, so good for the mind, so good for the energy. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. So stay here in this final relaxation as long as you like. If you have more time and you feel good about just staying here a little longer, go ahead. Get up when you're ready. Otherwise, we're going to bend the knees and we're going to roll over onto our side. Either side, use your arms. Come up nice and slow all the way up to seated. So sitting maybe on a folded blanket. I like to sit on a block. So especially if you're sitting cross-legged, take a look. We want our knees lower than the hips. Tailbone moves back slightly, heart lifts slightly, belly pulls in and up slightly, shoulders relax down. Find that breath, let it come all the way into the low belly. We'll bring the palms together, thumbs at the heart. I'm so happy you were able to join me today and that I was able to join you, and I look forward to more sessions with you. This ends our class today. Namaste.